Hello and welcome to another episode of Off Meta with the Moose. Today will be a casted replay between two really good tournament players, Dog Person and Navi. Dog Person is one of the rat schemers in the Bowels of Turin's Discord, creating a weapons team schemes, trying to innovate inside of that off-meta window that a couple of us are looking into. So let's go over the army he has here. He has the Master Assassin with the banner of the Horned Rat and Looming Dread, kind of the classic kit that people have been stumbling on for him. Solid character, stock, which will keep him alive, and those couple abilities. A nice, interesting spell kit here for the Eshin Sorcerer. Looks like it's going to be Warp Stars, one I haven't tried much myself, kind of a direct damage missile ability. We'll see how that does. Skitter and Leap for the invisibility. Brittle Bones, another really cool one I've been wanting to try out more. It's a massive melee defense debuff and causes a vigor reduction and speed reduction. So anytime you have a big fight, you could cast the undercasted on a lord or the overcasted to do an area of effect. So will be really interesting. And the single use Fear of Aramar. One time use of minus 24 leadership, which is kind of insane. Could put insta route a lot of units, even elite units like Chosen. So we'll see how he chooses to use that in this game. For his army, the dreaded pencil formation is upon us. This is a really it's an interesting choice that I haven't messed around with much myself, but really does have a lot of solid applications. The reasoning behind it is this unit is so narrowly positioned to units attacking it from the front that only a small amount of enemies will be able to engage this unit if attacked from the front. Only about 10 Skaven slaves will be taking the damage. So the idea is your unit can last a lot longer, and it creates these kind of nice open choke points in your army where the weapons teams can really fire off. And looks like he's positioned the warp grinders inside of those gaps. I see one here, and is there? Oh, and there's another one on the flank to catch units. Of course, they have a net. 3 globes, the ROR rattling gunners, the teeth breakers, and then it looks like a bunch of rat ogres to helm the rest of the army. All right, let's take a look at the Nurgle army over here. We have the Chaos Sorcerer Lord, it looks like. He's going to be bringing oh, that's the Noxbringer, wrong guy. He's going to be taking Spirit Leech for Skaven Lords, and then Fate of Buna, which is really good against those weapons teams. And he's a solid melee fighter as well. Kazak the Befouled, just a solid regenerating melee fighter. The Noxbringer you will pretty much always see against Skaven. The reasoning for that is, of course, he has a nice missile and he's a terror-causing monster, but his ammunition makes the opponent's units lose ammunition. So you hit those weapons teams, you're going to be reducing their lethality by quite a bit. All right, so let's get the action started here. We have Nurgle taking objective 2, Skaven taking objective 1. I'm going for a lane pushing approach. And then Nurgle with these, the Frolickers, is going to be taking objective 3, it looks like. Alright, so it looks like the fighting is going to be happening over here, mostly between position 1 and position 2. Nurgle doing the typical strategy you will do against weapon teams is you kind of build up a big surround with melee infantry, probably some Furies will be called in, and then you want to dive on top of this army and get these weapon teams into melee as quick as possible, because if they are in melee, that will be shutting down their ability to impact the game at all, because they do not really have melee stats, and their leadership, of course, is very low, being Skaven. All right, Warp Star's going down. Nice damage into the Noxbringer, and this unit is stocked, so Nurgle did not see that coming. Really nice damage there. I'm taking some notes here from my observation booth. Might be taking that spell myself in the future. Noxbringer dunking hard on these Globadiers, these rats with grenades. Gonna send them back into cover is Dog Person, trying to avoid the shots. Looks like he does dodge that round. Spirit Leech going down the Eshin Sorcerer, who is but we have looks like the smoke bombs were popped on the teeth breakers, so these units came in completely unsighted. Unfortunate overcast damage on the caster there, but look at the damage from the teeth breakers. Really nice play from Dog Person. He stealthed this unit and brought up and has the Soul Grinder almost killed just like that. Wow. Really strong at skirmishing is this weapons team style for Skaven, especially with Invisible. I think Navi is really going to need to just go for the full surround. Chaos Knights coming in, interesting choice. Really solid if they can get into contact here, but if they get some rattling guns lined up on them, they will take some serious damage along with globe fire coming into them. I'm expecting to see some Furies called in at some point for Navi. They really are the bane of this style for Skaven. We have Buna going down on the Teethbreakers, but huge damage in response going on the Chaos Sorcerer Lord. So I'm not sure who's winning this trade right here, especially with Natty's Boo Boo Sharpshooters laying fire on the Chaos Sorcerer Lord. Might just go down. A Looming Dread was popped on him too, so that's why he is hardly moving at all. He might just be dead right now. I think he's dead. I think Natty Boo Boos, Forsaken, are trying to dive in to rescue the situation. Assassin is coming after him as well. He does get away, maybe. Shots coming in. He is shattered. Will he die for the leadership penalty? Maybe. Might get away into the woods. We'll have to come back to that. But Nurgle sounding the horn, realizing they may have waited a little too long to dive in. Weapons teams falling back into the pencil grouping. Warp Grinders need to get their snare off over here, but there's a lot to micro. Might miss it. Globes are getting hit. Forsaken crashing in all directions. Lord is alive, so the penalty for him being routed won't hit until he's off the map. Warp Quake going down, gonna melt these Forsaken quite a bit. These little drill rats drilling into the earth, summoning evil rat magic as they do, getting some decent damage. Might need some rat ogres there. Looks like a net going down on top of the Chaos Knights with a Warp Quake. Really nice play. Assassin and Master Assassin going to be jumping in. And now the Rat Ogres counter, so no charge coming in from the Chaos Knights. Fury's now diving onto the globes. Going to get some nice damage in there. Going to need to see the Rat Ogres counter. Looks like nothing going on the other side. Globes and drills were able to take out this unit of Forsaken. Solid lead with Dog Person. That caster dying might be the clinching item here. We have Kazakh the Befouled trying to duel these two characters, but going against the Assassin and the Master Assassin and this random Rat Ogre will be quite a challenge. Forsaken are pushing deeper and deeper, though. If they can shut down those globes, that really is all the damage in the Skaven army at the moment. But these globes from all sides are pouring in fire, and it is wearing down the Nurgle army rather quickly. But more Furies diving in onto the globes. Overwatching fire from Natty Boo Boos will be able to support. It's hard to tell what's going on in all this chaos right now, so we'll just swirl around and take it all in. Pestigor's being called in alongside Kazakh. Are working the Master Assassin. Could be a Lord trade going both ways, but Dog Person does see that and is running back to the cover of his friendly rats. We're seeing routes now across the back line. More Furies getting onto the Natty Boo Boos. That might be the end of their role in this battle. But these globes are melting these Forsaken that are coming in. And the Forsaken tide is almost at an end. Another Warp Quake in the backfield. Getting 2 Warp Quakes off in a game for a Warp Grinder is really kind of their win condition for them personally as a unit, and they do crush that Forsaken unit. They don't do friendly damage on the Warp Quake, these Warp Grinders, so it's a really nice ability. Natty Boo Boos do get routed. Hounds are a little too late in response to take them out. Master Assassin has fled to safety. Looks like the globes on this side are protected. These Skaven slaves will probably rout before leaving the battlefield as well, so that will be more value coming in. Kazakh is struggling against the Assassin and the Rat Ogres. Did the Assassin bring any items? Looks like he does have Assassin's Trophy, so he might have used that on Kazakh to win that fight. Globes coming in, going to be nuking Pestigors, really nuking any infantry unit they can get a shot off on. Grenades into the sky, take out the Furies there, really cool. And I think that might be it for Nurgle. The value lead is pretty significant. They are ahead on points, but as you can see now, Skaven is going to be pushing forward to take objective 2, and there's plenty of time for a double cap to win for Skaven. Nurgle really looks to be out of steam here, and I think that might be good game, folks. Really solid work from the Skaven. I didn't see any applications of Brittle Bones, I think, from the Eshin Sorcerer, who might have died. They often do die, those Eshin Sorcerers. Very squishy. Nope, he lived just barely. Oh, zoomed a little past him. He just lived over here, barely on the flank. They have low melee stats, so they can get gooned out pretty quick, and very low health, of course. But looks like Warp Stars was a really solid spell. I liked that from Dog Person. 848 value, which was just from that. Didn't use Fear of Armrar. Looks like it's hard to remember all those abilities in the heat of the action. But didn't see any applications of Brittle Bones, though I'm sure it was used. Maybe it was in those Lord fights. Chaos Lord of Nurgle is back, which might give some hope to Nurgle, but I'm really not seeing it. Looks like the rats are chasing the disgusting Nurglites into the woods, trying to finish off the job. Got to be careful not to overextend, though, and give some hope for Nurgle here. Really just want to see this Objective 2 get taken, see the Skaven kind of lock down this area, and this is really nice on the flank. Over here on the other objective, the Doomflayers have gone in to take out the Frolickers, and Chariots are a hard counter to Nurglings, kind of their main weakness, along with some Clan Rat Spears. That's going to give Objective 3 over to Skaven, and as soon as they take Objective 2, that's going to be a triple cap. And yeah, he is making sure not to overextend, making sure there's no way to lose this. Barons of the Bog coming in, really solid anti-infantry unit, but if there's any Rattling Guns, which there are not, but more globes, the Warp Grinders have rallied. Furies are camping the back line. I think this is a cool play from Navi. Very, very sneaky, very Skaven-esque for him. Diving in to take out these Warp Grinders. Maybe if he can cut off reinforcements, he could have a build-up, go for Objective 1, kind of go for a last-minute win. But with the loss of Objective 3, it's really going to hurt Nurgle. They do have a solid points lead, so they could just ignore that objective and try and go for a lane push counter. Though I think they might have a really hard time with it. This is a really nice pick on the globes, though. If he can keep systematically picking off the globes before the main engagement. Routing Rat Ogres over here. Love the scrappiness from Navi here. Not giving up after that rough start. Over here on this side, looks like they are Skitter and Leap used to stalk some of these units, so the Barons of the Bog probably won't see this charge before it comes in, and they do get hit. They will do well into these Wolf Rats, but with the Rat Ogres and the poison coming in, Barons of the Bog, a very solid unit, but I think that's a little too much for them to handle. Furies might come in on the flank, but Rat Ogres could counter them as well. We have Assassin's Trophy and Looming Dread going down onto Kazakh the Befouled. It doesn't look like there was much follow-up, though, to take him out. Skaven trying to rally their backline. Doomflayers, great call-in, will be able to take out these Furies if they go for the Poison Wind Globes. Master Assassin popped his concealment bombs. I'm guessing he's hiding from the Spirit Leech of the Chaos Sorcerer Lord in the woods. Skaven hanging out on Objective 1 with some tattered units, trying to anchor that. I think we could see some units move up to Objective 2. Looks like the Barons of the Bog did bounce those Wolf Rats off the flank and off the map. Unfortunate there for Dog Person. Value gap is closing, but so is the points lead, as this very well could be a triple cap soon. It is a triple cap, so the points are going to be rapidly switching into Skaven's favor, and it will be on Nurgle to attack and kind of make things happen. Really nice pick again. Now that things are spreading out, the Furies are finding isolated picks on the Globadiers. Could be a route in for our Nurgle champion here. These two heroes, not a lot of counters for them right now with the Master Assassin being so low. Kind of free to run around and dunk on things as they please, though a unit of Rat Ogres could do some damage onto them. Rat Ogres here trying to catch these Furies while they're on the ground. Doomflayers looking for some picks. Pestigores in the trees. Going to be tough in the trees with the movement of those metal monstrous chariots for the Skaven getting blocked up. Over here, Barons of the Bog and Forsaken gonna take out two Rat Ogre units. Maybe dove a little too deeply here, the Skaven. Value getting rapidly close between these two armies. It looks like definitely some overextension from the Skaven, and the Master Assassin is incredibly low. He needs to get away. He might be one Spirit Leech away from death. Going in for the kill, though, we have just Poison Globe damage on him. Surprising choice here from Dog Person. Not afraid of the fight, though. It looks like we do have some freezing here, and we're back. Master Assassin coming in. Don't know what the plan is here. Oh, Mutant Rat Ogre looks like was summoned, and the Assassin. So it looks like with the combination of heroes, he's hoping to kill the Chaos Sorcerer Lord before the Spirit Leech gets to his Master Assassin, which very well might happen with all three of these characters here coming and delivering damage. And yes, a terror route on the Chaos Sorcerer Lord. Wow, wild play with such low health on the Master Assassin. But that is going to remove Spirit Leech and the threat to his Lord. Looks like Looming Dread and Brittle Bones and Assassin's Trophy going down to this Chaos Sorcerer Lord. His stats are non-existent. His speed is non-existent. Getting pushed by the Mutant Rat Ogre is helping him a little bit. But he is getting slammed, Space Jam slammed into Pound Town right now. It might die for a second time, though those pushes from the Mutant Rat Ogre are kind of maybe giving him a chance to escape. Kazakh the Befouled standing over a slain Rat Ogre. He's not interested anymore. He's done. He's seen what's going on the battlefield, and he's like, yeah, man, I don't actually care. I don't get paid enough. I'm on my union allotted break right now. Not a big deal for me. Furies are going for possibly the Master Assassin, Curse of the Slug, so Navi is aware of his location. Barons of the Bog getting frozen. Really nice play there by the Warp Grinders. Really love the Warp Grinder play this game I've seen from Dog Person. Pretty inspirational stuff. Though Doomflayers are running over the Forsaken, some rallying Skaven units back here in the back might want to just run them onto Objective 2, but that is part of the challenge of playing Skaven, is remembering where all your units are as they run away. Very tricky. Value Gap has closed, and Nurgle has gotten one objective back, and their Lord is still technically alive. If he dies, I think the leadership penalty could be decisive. He is shattered over there, you can see in the background, by that Mutant Rat Ogre. The chase continues. Oh, we saw the WWE steel chair get dropped there on the Chaos Sorcerer Lord, who appears to... He looks fine to me, if I'm going to be honest. T-pose in there over his dead mount. But according to the game, he is perished. So while he may remain stalwart, it's not gonna count for his units. Yeah, very fun visual bug there. Kazakh surrounded by Rat Ogres over here. Barons of the Bog falling back. Furies flying about, looking menacing, but with no real place to go. They could dive onto these Clan Rat Spears or go after the Master Assassin, but he doesn't consume a bomb, so he might have disappeared. Rat Ogre's chilling. Looks like Dog Person is taking it easy at the wheel right now. I think he knows he has the win. Not much Nurgle can do with the double cap and the lack of units Nurgle has on the battlefield. Just taking it easy, letting the time run out, and now they might be doing the same with these Furies hanging out. This was a quick battle game, so there wasn't quite possibly the tournament sweat you might see in a super competitive game. So I think we can fast forward here to the end. Yeah, Skaven holding Objective 3, holding Objective 1, falling back, just running Capture Weight onto it, and that's going to be the end of the game. Really cool stuff from both these players. I loved the Rattling Gun stealth assault onto the Noxbringer and the Chaos Lord. I think that was really the decisive moment right at the start. That damage and shatter on the Chaos Sorcerer Lord, who I think that is a bug. I think he did deal damage during the game. I'm not sure why it says 0 damage felt there. Oh, looks like it says that for all of them. This was on an older patch, so things might have been a little different than they happened in the game. Looks like they were at the end there. We don't get damage values, unfortunately. But looks like it happened just about as it did in the battle. Really cool Warp Grinder play from Dog Person, locking in those units. Rattling Gunfire was really good initially. Fury shut them down pretty quick, but the globes throughout the game did very serious damage. And I really like the Warp Stars from the Eshin Sorcerer. I think I'm going to pick that up myself as something I use. Really cool. Thank you for sending this in, Dog Person. It was a really fun game to watch, and we'll catch you guys next time.